Namaskar and welcome to Sunset Television. I am Vishal Dahiya and you're watching our special show Perspective, where we bring you the holistic viewpoint on all key issues. A 360-degree view with the help of our experts and analysts out here. Today we're going to talk about Pakistan's terror links. Today we're going to try and analyze all aspects of this issue, try and understand what is actually wrong out there and what needs to be done on the ground by not only Pakistan but by also the international community. And for more on this, we're joined by three distinguished experts. Let me first introduce them to you, beginning with, we have with us Dr. Shriram Chaulia, our foreign affairs expert, is joining us here in the studio. We're also joined by former Ambassador Prabhu Dayal. He's been in Pakistan, he's served there, and we also have Retired Major General Dhruv C. Katoch, Director of India Foundation. Welcome, all of you gentlemen. Dr. Chaulia, from your point of view, if we have to understand clearly and if we have to, look at the overall holistic picture here, it becomes pretty much clear that Pakistan's acts are now coming to light, obviously, to the international community. India has been pointing it out time and again to both Pakistan and the world community as well. But as General Katoch was also pointing out, looks like time is running out for this nation.
Yeah, a lot of constituencies have woken up, Vishal, especially since the fall of Kabul to Taliban. I mean, even those who used to view this region as if there is some kind of a territorial dispute between Pakistan and India, or some kind of a shadow boxing for influence between Pakistan and India. Now they are seeing it as primarily the problem is of terrorism, which has always been our point of view for a long time. It's not about dispute. It's actually the problem of the nature of the state itself.
It's a well-established fact that they've been using terrorism.
Exactly. So I think even Republican senators and representatives in the U.S. Congress are now moving for more and more inquiries and to review. The U.S. government is reviewing its entire Pakistan policy. They're under tremendous pressure to explain as to how is it that, 20 years the U.S. said that Pakistan was a so-called major non-NATO ally. Only 17 countries in the world have this status of MNNA. And Pakistan is one of them. If you look at the list of the others, they're all much more decent states that have actually supported U.S. national interests. But this one played the double game and actually quotes to have defeated the U.S. now, claims to have defeated the U.S. through Taliban. So I think there is a realization that this state has really been given too much long rope and that it misused it, and that in the name of, they claim that they had their own war on terror, and we have been calling out that yes, Pakistani people have suffered. Yes, they are saying more than 80,000 or even 1 lakh casualties they have had in their own war on terror inside Pakistani territory. Yes, it is true, but that doesn't mean that the state and the elements of the state were not behind it. The state actually destabilizes its own country. It's that kind of situation, right? So the people of Pakistan, the civil society, even liberal and moderate elements who often are suppressed, do know the fact that it is the so-called establishment, as they call it, which has a hand behind most of these, terrible, nefarious activities in the region. So both the international community, as well as, I would think, people inside Pakistan who know the atrocities and the violence and the horrific acts that happened during the last round of the Tehreek-e-Taliban and the state insurgency, all of them realizes it's going to come back to haunt them, as General Katoch is saying, and they ought to actually stop them from playing with fire again, because they have done it once. They have burnt their own fingers and have also spread so much violence and mayhem in the region. It's our collective duty, including for Pakistani people, not to allow the establishment to do this one more time.
And this dual approach can't work anymore, that, you use terrorism as a tool of state policy, and then at the international forum, you play victim. That is something which has been called out by India time and again. Dr. Chaulia, staying on the international community and the way reactions have been coming in, the way now big powers are reacting to it, or their analysis are coming about. This is something which, and at the cost of repeating, I would say, India has been time and again pointing it out to the world community at every other forum. Now is the time for them to react. It's almost late, but still they should react now.
Yeah, so what are the institutions or the mechanisms through which they can react? Indeed. One is, of course, the FATF process. They continue to be on the grey list. They say that they have met 26 parameters and there's just one more parameter. So they are hoping to get off the grey list. I think it's very important in light of what has happened in Afghanistan they should not be taken off the grey list, and the international community should come to a consensus on this. That's one. The other concrete thing, of course, is sanctions. Of course, we are all talking, there's a big movement internationally in the public opinion. People are saying Pakistan should be subject to sanctions for being the sponsor of terrorism and destabilizing the whole region. That is where I think, China, of course, will have Pakistan's back and will save it, because it's a permanent member of the Security Council. But short of that, we should be looking at, smaller, often if there is no UN level consensus, it doesn't matter. There can be a US-led, sanctions of us, plurilateral sanctions, smaller group level sanctions. So those are the things we should be advocating for. And I think punitive counter response, we have the right to it. If they carry out another, as Imran Khan has been threatening for a long time, there are going to be more Pulwamas. If there are going to be more Pulwamas, there are going to be more Balakots or much more. So I think we are very clear with our deterrence posture. We have already shown them last time when there was a crisis in 2019 that if they resort to adventurism, if they try to push more infiltrators or carry out IED blasts and suicide attacks and such things within India, which they are trying. They're actively plotting. Recently, there was one in Uttar Pradesh that was busted. So if any such thing goes to its culminates and leads to losses, they know that India will also react very hard this time. We are no longer a soft state. Under Narendra Modi government, we have given up the tag of being a soft state. So I think if you add up all these factors, barring China, there's not really much fallback for them. And even China is opportunistic because China, for example, does not bail them out when they have macroeconomic crisis. Who do they go to? IMF. It's not China that helps them when they are in the soup. So ultimately, I think there are means by which we can, conquer both military and economic, by which we can apply pressure. But I would still think that the realization has to come from within these countries. Pakistan is not, it's not small. It's a medium-sized country. The more than 200 million people, they have to realize that by giving too much power into the hands of this, unconstitutional authority, the military intelligence establishment, they have actually hacked at their own feet. That realization, that movement has to come from within. We have seen some moments in Pakistani history when people have risen up against the military. If this is not the time, when is the time? I mean, Imran Khan is a weak leader. He's a puppet of the military. Everybody knows it. Military is again leading them towards that suicidal path. Sooner or later, the people of Pakistan, civil society, they need to raise their voices. Otherwise, it's very hard to really reform a sovereign state just through outside pressure.
Indeed, that is one very important aspect of it. There it is. Thank you so much, both General Katoch as well as Mr. Dayal and Dr. Chaulia for sharing your views and insights.